All right, 8.4. On this page, I'm just going to draw a picture instead of writing down the definitions. So this right here, that is the intercepted arc. And then this right here, that is the central angle. Now, the radian, that's kind of more involved. The radian, or to get a radian, that's the extra space on the unit circle that I talked about on 8.3. We're going to fill these in eventually. Those are where all the radians go. Here's the definition of a radian. It is when the intercepted arc and the radius have the same length. So this is the radius. This is the intercepted arc. If they have the same length, that is equal to 1 radian. Okay, so that may or may not make sense, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to get to this in a second, but before we do that, I have to kind of tell you how to convert from degrees to radians or vice versa. So when you're going from radians to degrees, you are going to multiply by 180. If you're going from degrees to radians, you're going to divide by 180. So you will need your calculator. And I am going to write down all the degrees, well, not all of them, just the 4 main ones on the unit circle. I want to go ahead and change all of those degrees to radians. So you will need your calculator. So since all of these are degrees and I want it radians, I'm going to divide all of these by 180. Okay, so here we go. If I do 0 divided by 180, that's just 0. Let's go and do 360. 360 divided by 180 is 2. But radians always have pi's with them. So 0 pi and 2 pi. Let's do 90 divided by 180. We get 0.5 or 1/2. So that's pi over 2. 180 divided by 180 is 1, so that's 1 pi. And then 270 divided by 180 is 1.5. I want that as a fraction. So 270 divided by 180 is 1.5. I'm going to change that to a fraction by doing math, enter, enter. That's 3/2. So 3 pi over 2. Now I can go back and answer these questions. How many radians are in a circle? Well, that's a full circle, 360 degrees, so my answer is 2 pi. How many radians are in a semicircle, which means half a circle? Well, here's half a circle, 180 degrees, so in radians, that would be pi. Okay, let's move on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and change all of these. So since I want radians, since I'm going from degrees to radians, I'm going to divide by 180. So I'm going to take all of these and divide them by 180. And I'm just going to do 5 and 6. So 150 divided by 180. And then I want that as a fraction, so math, enter, enter. I get 5/6. So 5 pi over 6. Now I'm going to do 40. 40 divided by 180. I want that as a fraction, so math, enter, enter. It's 2/9, so 2 pi over 9. So if you want radians, you always have a pi. If it's a fraction, the pi goes in the numerator. Okay, now I want degrees. So I'm giving you radians, but I want degrees. So if you go from radians to degrees, you're going to multiply by 180. But you're going to multiply without the pi. So you're going to take 1/6 times 180. This one we're going to do 7/2 times 180. This one you're going to do 1/9 times 180. This one is 4/3 times 180. Whenever you have a fraction, you have to make sure it's in parentheses. So 1/6 times 180. 30. So your answer is 30 degrees. Okay, the next one, 7/2. Make sure 7/2 is in parentheses. Times 180. You should get 630 degrees. Okay, the next one is 1/9 in parentheses times 180. You get 20. So 20 degrees. Then you get 4/3 in parentheses times 180. That's 240 degrees. All right. That brings us to the last page. Now I know there's a blank circle there, but we're kind of going to disregard that for now. So this is in fact the last page. Now I'm going to break this up into quadrants. So this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. These are the ones that are on the X or the Y axis. I'm going to circle those. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what all of these are. So since I'm giving you degrees and we want radians, we are going to divide all of those by 180. And then you want to put a pi with it. And then when we're done, we're going to put that on our unit circle. Okay, 0 divided by 180. That is 0. So 0 pi. Next, 30 divided by 180. I get a decimal. So to make that into a fraction, you hit math, enter, enter. We get 1/6. So pi over 6. 45 divided by 180. I get 0.25. Math, enter, enter. That's 1/4. So pi over 4. 60 divided by 180. I get a decimal, so math, enter, enter. I get 1/3. Pi over 3. 90 divided by 180. That's 1/2. So pi over 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put those onto our unit circle from yesterday. So 0 pi, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, and pi over 2. Okay, now we're looking at the second quadrant. 120 divided by 180. I get a decimal. Math, enter, enter. I get 2/3. So 2 pi over 3. 135 divided by 180. Let me show you instead. Math, enter, enter. We get 3/4. So 3 pi over 4. 150 divided by 180. I get a decimal. So math, enter, enter. I get 5/6. So 5 pi over 6. And then if I take 180 divided by 180, that's just 1 or 1 pi. Okay, now I'm going to put all of those on the unit circle. And then we're going to look for a pattern. 2/3 pi, 3/4 pi, and 5/6 pi, and pi. Okay, if you notice, I have these purple lines right here. They have something in common. They both have a denominator of a 3. The ones in the middle, they both have a denominator of 4. The ones that have the orange lines, they both have a denominator of 6. In the second quadrant, the numerator is 1 less than its denominator. Okay. Third quadrant. 210 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. I get 7/6 pi, or 7 pi over 6. 225 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. 5/4 pi. 240 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. 4/3 pi. And then 270 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. 3 pi over 2. Okay, let's add those on to the third quadrant. 7 pi over 6, 5 pi over 4, 4 pi over 3, 3 pi over 2. Okay, same thing. If you look at the purple lines, oh shoot, oh yeah, they have a denominator of 3. The ones in the middle have a denominator of 4. The ones with the orange lines have a denominator of 6. And this time in the third quadrant, the numerator is 1 more than the denominator. Okay, one more quadrant to go. Okay, here we go. 300 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. 5 pi over 3. 315 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. 7 pi over 4. 330 divided by 180. Math, enter, enter. 11 pi over 6. And then 360 divided by 180 is 2. So this one is 2 pi. Okay, now we're ready to add this on to our unit circle. 5 pi over 3, 7 pi over 4, and 11 pi over 6. The orange lines have a denominator of 6. The ones in the middle have a denominator of 4. The ones with the purple lines have a denominator of 3. The pattern down here is that you multiply the denominator by 2 and subtract 1. 3 times 2 is 6 minus 1 is 5. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 1 is 7. 6 times 2 is 12 minus 1 is 11. Oh, and I forgot to put my 2 pi here. So now we have the unit circle complete. We have all the degrees, all the radians, and all the ordered pairs. And I believe that is it for 8-4. Yes, because this is just something random we're going to work with another time.